Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and children. Beerus of Epirus here, and this is the big game of the season, hosted at Questlotl Raptors Apex Stadium. So, this is the really important one. This is the game that matters. I now have 6 Saurus. I've got a handful of crazy skinks, and I am playing the Body Stealers. So, in terms of league standings, I'm currently in first place. Body Stealers are in second. Now I've got, I think it's 4 wins before playing this, and he has 3 wins and 1 draw. So obviously the dream, as it is to win. Failing that, draw, so that I maintain my position, because I would have 4 wins and 1 draw. He would have 3 wins and 2 draw, or I would have 5 wins and he'd have 3 wins, a draw and a loss. And as long as I don't lose, I'm still in a very good position to take the title. Okay, so this is my setup. I've got my main ball carrier up front. These 3 skinks are performing several roles really: blocking blitzes, being in positions to pick up the ball and hand off to my guy. I'm not sure where he positioned the ball here, but I think it touchbacks. Yeah. So I obviously give it to my ball carrier. He's got a very aggressive defense, which can work, but I think against a Lizardman team it's not the most effective. So I've deliberately done that so I can push the ghoul out of the zone. I get that guy on the floor, and I believe I've used a blitz, and there's a really important reason for that. The stun is important. So I'm going to create a side cage over here. And arguably this is quicker than perhaps it would have been, but I mean, if the ball had landed like over here, I would have picked it up, handed it off, and I think I still could have got that anyway. So now what I've got to do is I've got to tie up his team. The reason I don't think this aggressive lineup works up against my team is because my guy's a strength 4, and even though he's got a guard ghoul next to that guy, if I hit the ghoul, it's then basically a 2 dice my choice against both. And I only need to break 1 flank to get my guys through. And once a skink is through, it's very difficult. That was nice. So we got a stun guy, he's got an injured guy. This has been a great first turn for me. He regens, so this is one of the problems I have. Like weirdly, against this team, I want to knock them out or stun them, because injuries, they're just very likely to come back. So he starts going to town on my guys. Knocks out a skink. Like, I have to tie up his guys to stop him from surrounding my cage. And this is a team with an agility that really encourages it to fight rather than to dodge, so, But yeah, so this is going well. I have to say, I think this was the most enjoyable match I played so far. It was certainly the most challenging game I played in, I'd say, probably quite a few years. I really had to think very carefully about everything that I was doing, which was cool. So this is a balls-ass risky play, but he manages to get through and fucks up my ball carrying. So I'm quite fortunate insofar as it goes this way rather than back towards my own line. But that's not the end of the world. So he's got that guy. So now I've got to regain control of the ball. Now, I think if I'd scored, weirdly, I think if I'd scored turn 2, anyway, this would have been difficult. So in a way, this sort of benefits me a little bit. I have to reroll here, which is not ideal. But I'm trying to stop these guys from being able to reach the ball. I'm trying to stop these guys from disengaging. This guy, I mean, it leaves him free, but he's got a very small movement, like 3, 4, 5. He can get to here, so I'm not concerned about that. What I'm trying to do is stop his guys from stopping my ball carrier from getting to the ball. So he's going to wail on my guys, and this is the trade I really need to make. Is just I need to survive him beating the crap out of me. In order to, you know, play the ball game. You know, it's just developed into a bit of a mess, really. That's a nice move, obviously. You know, it doesn't stop the skink from dodging out, but it means he has to go left rather than directly towards the ball, which, you know, reduces his maneuverability a little bit if I don't want to do multiple dodges. Oh. Obviously that's important. Fortunately he does not succeed in his mad blitz this time, because that would have been a right bastard if he had. So that guy's stunned, and at this point I'm sitting on 1 at 10-3, so now I've got to play a bit of time wasting. Make it as difficult for him to return as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is stand up my guys. I'm going to try and pick up the ball, which I manage, and I'm going to sit him over here. I'm going to move my Saurus to protect him, and you know, really that makes it very difficult for him to do whatever it is he wants to do regarding my ball carrying. That's nice. So now I think we're equal numbers again on the pitch. Ha! I managed to take down the money. I was so excited when I got a one nice block, and I stunned it as well. Mummies are so good. So good. So that's obviously a smart play for him. He's making it quite clear that, you know, if I'm not careful, he's going to attack my guy, and that's never great. I can't really get guys to support here, so I'm going to score. Like, if I could time it for longer, I would, but it's too risky. So I'm going to take the touchdown, and now it's all on him, really. I've got to survive. Just take a moment to appreciate dead ass.
Alright, so my guy gets back up. His doesn't.
The problem is, because he's killed so many people from the other teams, he's got a full 16 player team, I believe. So I can't, like, it might be 15. So I can't actually, in fact it must be 15. So I can't actually, like, realistically get into less than 11 players ever. It's just not going to work. So I'm going to set up my defense. My defense has changed a little bit now because I've got 6 Saurus. So I'm going to have a Saurus on the front lines. They're going to get engaged, but I'm hoping if he spreads his guys out enough, they'll get one-on-ones. And most of them, apart from the ones obviously in front of the mummies, most of them will have a 2 dice block their choice. I've got dive and tackle skink here. I didn't really get to use him very much, but like the principle was there, and I was looking for opportunity. I got some sidestep skinks. I gave a sidestep skink a rest just in case, like, these guys get taken out. For those who don't know, sidestep is when you get blocked. This is relevant. So Blizzard, any player attempting to move an extra square, or go for it, will be knocked down and roll 1 or 2, and only quick and short passes can be attempted, so you can't pass it very far. So sidestep, when you get blocked, when you're pushed, rather than being pushed in a direction away from your opponent, you get to choose as the defender. You get to choose which open area around them they get pushed into. So a skink get pushed could go into any of the 8 unoccupied zones around him. Okay. And we were talking about this in the chat as we were playing this game. Blizzard's not great for either of these teams. I think maybe the Thesaurus of like in the thermal inertia, it's like body size through it. But like you've got cold-blooded creatures, dead things in cold. Like, you know, it's not great. But then we were reliably told by the Australian that, you know, there are lizards that like can survive their winters and stuff, because Australia's a lovely place. So yeah, he's pushing hard on my left flank, trying to make a hole. He's moving his guys across just to get that sort of maximum player advantage, which I think is a really sensible thing to do. Like that's a really nice channel for his guy. Now he does fail to pick up the ball, but he uses a reroll and succeeds. He's got a way to go, but he's got 5 turns. And fails the pass because, I mean, I wonder if this was a bit ambitious. Like, I wonder if he would have had a better chance of it, because he's only 1 turn away. He could even next turn move here, hand it off, and then that guy would be able to move anyway. And it's only a 4+ roll. But the turn, you know, the turn's over. It's very difficult for me to get there. It's not like the end of the world. But obviously, well, I think obviously I'm gonna have a try at it, right? So I get, you know, I'm starting to move my guys over to this line. I bring my source back. I'm gonna give it a go. I think I get, yeah, I failed my dodge, so dodge and dodge, 1 and 2. That's fine. Yeah, because of the way he's moved, I've got 2 swords next to the ball, so you have to block them first. Obviously he's going to do that with his mighty mummies. So you may have noticed in the top left I've got a thing next to my rerolls, like, hey Pyrrhus, what's that? That is a wizard, an unsolicited wizard as Skrain would describe it. That's not great. So this guy, a wizard, at the end of your drive, end of your turn, you can activate it to either do an AoE of, like, I think it's the 9 squares, and take anything down in it on a 4+, or you can hit one thing and take it down on a 2+. And I think both myself and third are in agreement that you should always do the lightning bolt, the 2+ if you get the chance. He's passes that. So he's got his white, and whites always surprise me because, like, they are basically, you know, decent enough ball carriers. It's just obviously you're so focused on the ghouls you don't really think about it. Yeah, so he's got his ball out here. There's lots of space. That's obviously not fantastic for me. I get the I get the tackle and the dodge. So that's nice. So what have I got? 1 player knocked out. A couple of players on the floor. So he can't score this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you know, he can move it further down. So I'm going to put that guy in as a safety. I'm going to go for the 1 dice block. I just felt it was too risky to do the 3+ dodge. I thought this would be better, you know, because my guy's got block, so it's a 1 in 6 of going down. Other, you know, 1 in 3 of taking him down, which I do. I have a go for the ball. I think I fuck it up twice. Oh no, I don't. Okay. Now he hasn't got a sidestep, which is a real shame. If he had sidestep, it would be obviously a lot better. I'm going to dodge guys out to obviously make it more difficult for him to reach my guy, and then I'm just going to get that guy out from there. So he got sidestep, he hasn't, so yeah, I want to get him away from the board edge. In a way, it's a shame that guy's back there, but I needed him as my safety, because if that had failed, like, he'd have a free pass. He's got more than enough time to score. But I've got the ball back. I've got 2 turns, which is more than enough to score if I can get up there. But obviously he's putting my team on the floor, dodging out of my guys, Killing my players. Like, god damn it. That's obviously a shame. That's another KO. So my turn, I'm going to stand guys up and try and, you know, block some people out. That guy's got guard, which is frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to tie some folks up, really try and make it difficult for him to get around the ball. I'm going to block some guys. I'm not going to follow. So I think this is a 1 dice block. I'm going to get that guy obviously around as far over this way as possible. Yeah, big 1 dice block. Shove it, that's fine, that's all I need. I'm going to go for the ball. Yeah. Now I could have risked going further. With him having 2 turns, I kind of didn't want to risk him getting it back. This is one of the things about this game. I think that if I had defended more aggressively, I could have maybe got a better result. But it essentially was always going to be big risk for, you know, real consequences if I messed up. And given that I only had to draw this game, I didn't feel that it was appropriate to take the ballsy risks that perhaps they did with those amazing like blitzes and passes and stuff, because, you know, his gameplay was much more exciting than mine in my opinion, because he took, you know, risks that I don't really do until a lot later, I think. Whoa. This guy, by the way, right? His mummies did a lot of going for it on 3+s. They did not, I repeat, did not, like, you know, go down nearly as much as I wanted them to. Now, I think it's my turn 8. I can't score, unfortunately. So I'll do a bit of damage, and then I think I'll just get my guys into safety. Is that guy? That guy's got a sidestep, so that's good. I'll do some blocks. I'm just going to stop, just in case that guy could score if I wasn't careful. So I'm just going to get my guy out. I'm going to try and make it so that it's very difficult for him to score. And I think at this point, you know, I've defended the drive, because I don't think there's anything within range, even if he got hold of the ball. So, you know, he's just going to go to fucking town on me. I like that he checked his nails after that hit, like, I think I get a bit of skink in my face. So that's not great for him. I think it's just badly hurt, yeah. Now ghouls are the ones that can't come back, so that's really important for me. Like, they don't have that regen, so that's significant. I like how my skink's just like completely obvious. So it's half time, still Blizzard. I've got Saurus out, which isn't great, but I've still got a full team. He's returning the drive now, and he's got 8 turns, so this is going to be big. And I've obviously got my wizard, so I'm going to try and use that at an appropriate juncture. And one of the issues with now I'm back to 5, I can change up my my defense so that all of my Saurus are sort of in the center. It just gives me some good blitzing options. Also means that I can retaliate with Saurus, because they're not generally going to get guys here. Generally. I mean, he's going to go with his balls deep aggression, which is totally the right thing to do with a team like this, where you've got 2 mummies, you've got guard players, you've got block players. It's just seek and destroy. Trying to kick it. I think I get another reroll, but I don't really use these rerolls. I think in the end, obviously it's quite lucky for me to get there twice in the game, but I don't really get it. So, oof. Oof. So after this game, I've got 2 human teams to play. I've got Bretonians and I've got humans. So the human team, so Phil's Clownz, I think they lost their last game against Scuff D. So unless something major happens, I think he's sort of out of the contention for top place. Still a massively strong third, but I'm hoping that means that I've got a good shot at kind of beating him. Obviously, I've got the Bretonians, who I think since the first game had a bit of a difficult time. The Dauntless worries me on his guys, because obviously that means he can get 1 less blocks against my Saurus, but other than that, the Fenn's a bit annoying, but other than that, I'm not really too worried, I don't think. I think we've got a good matchup against Bretonians. So that's really concerning for me. He's getting hugely sort of down the pitch, which is not great. Now, I wonder if I should have flooded his tackle zones here, like blitzed, flooded his tackle zones, and then like, then use the wizard. Like maybe this would have been a better moment to use it. I do end up saving it, but it's fine. Like at this point, I feel like I've still got a reasonable chance, like shot at defense, so that's not too terrible. I'm going to stand up my guys. I think I've just lost a Saurus, which isn't great. One of the difficulties of this drive is I think this is the drive where I lose a lot of guys, and that obviously makes it impossible to defend. I'm trying to set up a cordon, just make it difficult for him to move forward like any meaningful distance, but it's not ideal. I'm trying to get a Saurus back, so I've got a blitzing option if I need, and then I'm going to obviously duck these guys out. So now I've got a nice cordon. It's not ideal, but he has to blitz to try and get through there. I think I make some sort of key errors. That sort of make life a bit more difficult for myself. The KOs don't help, and the KOs don't help that they're all my Saurus. I mean, at least they're not injuries, but still. If you think that these guys are armor 9, so he has to be rolling 10s or higher, you know, to do that. It's just harsh. And obviously that's a bit unsettling, because now he's moving across to the flank where I haven't got any defense, so I'm going to have to stretch myself. And this is all looking a bit real. He has the players, and he can just spread me out like one of his cheap whores. No, don't wake up, buddy. So I'm going to get my guys up. I'm going to spread my defense. Now the problem with this is that it's only 1 deep, so if he blitzes through it, he's got like a clear avenue. You know, this just isn't looking great for me at all. But I'm trying to get a bit of depth. Obviously, I want that ghoul gone. That's a bit of the problem. But I've got block in this guy, so that's good. I'm gonna move him back again. I don't want to be engaged where I can help it. No, I think I move this guy out. Yeah. So obviously now, you know, that's encouraging him to go left again. But yeah, this is tough. It's just the lack of players. Like I've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's got a 2-player advantage, which isn't fun. My Saurus are being kicked around like dog toys. It's not ideal. So yeah, his ghoul's making some real headway now. He's gonna put some guys in front of it. So I misinterpreted the wizard slightly. I didn't quite expect it to just end the drive as it does. Yeah, I don't think it really changes much, but I could have possibly played slightly differently. I think I get my guys around to try and affect some sort of defense. I just can't quite get far enough with that guy, and I don't want to risk the 3+. Although I've got the rerolls, and maybe I should have gone for it. That guy's just hoping that, you know, obviously I take the ball. I didn't blitz there. I didn't think I used my blitz at all. Yeah, so I should have like stood this guy up and moved him there, and I should have blitzed him off and moved him. Like I just, yeah. I didn't end that turn very well, and it really costs me because that's just such a weak spot, as you're going to see. He would have scored anyway, but I was in two minds of whether to just let him score quickly, but I was kind of worried that he might then, like, just with the number of KOs, like if they don't wake up, I'm returning with a reduced team, and that's not ideal. There were definitely some key mechanical errors in that last one. So obviously this is the big problem. Unfortunately it's a push, but that's not great. That's a wide open corridor. I think he picks it up. I think he uses his last reroll. Yeah. So obviously he's in a really strong position. I can't get my Saurus to him. It's a lot of effort to get my guys around. There's lots of tackle zones. So I'm gonna, you know, blitz in just to get the. So I could have blitzed like him, but I just didn't think it was worth the risk. But you know, I'll get my guy next to him. That's somebody he's got to deal with. I will. Do that. So I get like 2 players on the ball. Now does he then like fuck up? Yeah. It's fair enough, like, you know, I had to give it a go. But if you got one further, like I could have just flooded in with players. But it wasn't to be. Could have maybe dodged that guy out, had a second guy here. That may have been the more appropriate thing to do. But I've got 4 players unconscious now, that's not great. Obviously this gives him a free reign, as you're going to see. Like, well, block that guy off, blitz him. Yeah. So I get an extra turn out of it, which isn't bad. So he doesn't risk it, which is, you know, totally the fair thing to do. So my guy's on the floor, which is not great. Again, this corridor just concerns me. He's locking me out. That's obviously problematic because that Saurus isn't realistically going to be blocking in there. There's that other KO. My team is all in the dugouts. This isn't great. And I've got a stun. Like, I've got so few players left in the game. Is that right? Oh, God. Oh, he doesn't have God. Okay, so I'm getting, again, bodies next to the ball. I don't dodge. I risk it, and it, you know, obviously it's not going to happen. So, but that's fine. It's all good. He now obviously is in a very good place to score. Really, really good aggressive offense from this team in this drive. It was, you know, very focused. There's another KO. That's like just so unhappy. I got one Saurus left, boys. Now, surely he scores now and doesn't risk anything else. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Difficult place for me. Like, I guess he can afford to wear 10 if he messes it up. Yeah, he's not going to, but. Yeah, so it puts my entire team on the floor. What's left of it. Injures a skink. That's fun. I don't use the apothecary. I'm saving the apothecary for deaths or characters that matter. And there's the touchdown. So we're now drawing. So one thing I have done with that defense is I've slowed it so that his return is my return. There's not much time. So I'm thinking I've got lots of guys out. I just need to stall out the draw now. Potentially. See how many get up. I think 2 get up, which isn't bad. I think they're both Saurus, but I'm, hugely outnumbered. That guy just sleeps for the rest of the game. So what are 8 players on the pitch. So clearly, I'm not going to be getting through that. I only have 1 Saurus. I can't do it. So. Like, that's not going to be on the front line. So I'm going to just create a box of players. Try to anticipate the blitz. And hope I can stall out. Obviously he can redo his line, but it's not a great deal. So he's got 2 turns to score. I've got 3. I can definitely do it, but I'm going to be really cautious. I do not want to lose. I don't want to lose my ball at this point, so I've got to protect it. I'm going to do that here. Obviously, I have the squeaky bum time and I re-roll it, and unfortunately don't fuck that up. And yeah, I've used my re-roll. He gets put in his face, but that's fine. They're not going to do. It was just a punt. They're not going to do anything at this point. My goal is to stop him from scoring in the next 2 turns. I pray you never have to come across a front line like that. It's just brutal. So I imagine what he's doing by flooding is he's stopping me from moving back and trying to protect it. Obviously he's trying to impact my cage. That's really important. He hasn't used his blitz yet, but here it comes. Motherfucker. Okay. So my cage is definitely broken, but I've got a chance. It's a highly unlikely, but it's a chance. I'm going to stand my guys up. I'm moving a guy there because what I'm going to do is hand off, because a handoff means that this guy doesn't have to roll dice. All this guy has to do is catch. And now I'm here, I'm going to try and get the fuck out. Now I need to do 2 go for it's in order to have the space in the next turn to score. And unfortunately I do fail, because it's and I get injured. Because it's a 3+ in a blizzard to go for it rather than 2, and obviously that's a 67% chance of succeeding, and I just got unlucky, you know. It would have been quite ambitious, you know. He probably would have been able to blitz it. You know, he could have got taken down. It would have been cool to end 2-1. I think that would have been a really exciting run. But I'm confident here at this point that I've definitely got the draw, because he's on his last turn. He can only short pass because of the blizzard. Being there with like this guy, for example, he can't pass it to anyone. So he's just going to hurt my guys. And that's fine. So we suffered 2 casualties. Remember, one of his regen. One of each of us was just from risky plays, going for it and dodges and such. The other one was inflicted by other players. He now goes for the ball. He does check to see if he can pass, and it's not possible. He goes for it and fails, which is nice. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I think I just end the turn. I think I just lock him up. Try and go for a ghoul. Ghouls are the things that I can actually hurt, so yeah. So I knock him on his face. And I knock him out, and that's a nice way to end the game. So there you have it. Easily the most challenging game I've had in a long time. Really, really great game. Very close. You know, I think there were points where it could have gone either way in terms of, you know, obviously getting the winning touchdown. But all I needed to do was draw. And the reason for that is where we're at. Let's assume that myself and Third both win our next 2 games. So Third plays, I think, the Cleveland Clownz and the Prison Islanders. Again, Cleveland Clownz might surprise us. I'm cautiously thinking Body Steelers has the advantage. It's just a very, very brutal, strong motherfucking team. I've got Cleveland Clownz and the Lionesses Crusading Lions. I feel reasonably confident I can get both those. So let's say we both get 2 wins. I'll end on 6 wins and 1 draw. He'll end on 5 and 2, which means I'll take the title. So it's definitely not over. You can't count anyone out. But this puts me in a really strong position to go for the finish. And fingers crossed. I mean, that was definitely, in my view, going to be my toughest game, and I survived it. So, fingers crossed, I can nail the season. You know, yeah, I was real upset. It sounded like a great game. So yeah, I've got the Clownz next, so a human team, and then I've got the Lions as my last game, which is a returning team. Just before I go and leave you, these guys, the second cup. It's gonna be fucking fun. Isn't that kit cool? That's fucking cool. So, Torthsethai Jets. Thrower, 4 catches, 1 blitzer. I really like the blitzers. I like sidestep. It makes them really interesting runners. They need dodge, but it makes a really interesting runner. And lineman. 2 rerolls, which is a bit of a risky thing, but you know, elves 2 is fine. 2 will do. Nerves of steel. Nerves of fucking steel. Yeah. Exciting stuff. So there will be some games for the Torthsethai Jets coming soon. Obviously, I'll be finishing up the Quetzalcoatl Raptors and their season. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did. Really, really great. Tatty Baz.